I don't think I'm wrong in saying that Inazuma 11 Victory Road is the greatest Inazuma 11 game I've ever seen. It was long overdue, with development starting 9 years ago, back in 2016 when it was first announced as Inazuma 11 Ares. It was planned to release in 2018, but suffered from heavy delays and title changes as the scope of the game grew larger and larger into this huge title that we have now. They underestimated their own title and ended up needing 7 years longer than anticipated to finish their vision. Believe it or not, it was originally intended to be a game that would be released aside the anime version, Inazuma 11 Ares, in Japan, and would be available on all modern gaming platforms, but including iOS and Android. But that was quickly scrapped, and in 2019 it was delayed and renamed to Inazuma 11 Great Road of Heroes, and then delayed again with a new name in 2022 as Inazuma 11 Victory Road. It had even more frequent delays again and again until now in November 2025, with our first Inazuma 11 game since 2013. Victory Road is set approximately 25 years after the events of the very first Inazuma 11 game. It was developed and published solely by Level 5, who are best known for Professor Layton, Ni no Kuni, Yoko Watch and, well, Inazuma 11. But they did also develop Dragon Quest VIII and Dragon Quest IX for Square Enix. And the world-renowned anime studio MAPPA has joined forces with Level 5, and they animated every single cutscene in the entire game, and it has the longest anime running time out of every game in the series. It's essentially one big anime episode. The game as of today is available on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Switch 1, Switch 2, as well as Windows PC. Something that I've never seen done before is the ability to cross-save between all of these platforms, so if you play the game on PC and just want to play it on the way to school or work on your Switch, you can just pick up exactly where you left off. The scope of this game is nothing short of massive, the biggest and best game in the series. It has over 5,400 characters that you can recruit and play as on your team, and that team you can fully customize, manage and play as in multiple different modes, but also the original new story mode that feels more like a JRPG with football elements rather than a story game, and I mean that in the best way possible. FIFA be damned. Right as we load into the game for the first time, you have the character customization screen, and it's pretty awesome. It has a lot of depth, and I spent quite a while looking into it. I went fairly accurate with myself. I included my longer hair, which gets wavy a lot. I get told a lot that my eyes change between brown and green, so I made sure that both my eyes were brown and green. I do have this exact scar on my cheek from an accident when I was a kid, and I have a rose in my mouth because I'm just romantic like that. Overall, pretty good character customization, no complaints here. You can set your height, body type, and the way you even wear your uniform. As well as your base stats, you can choose which element you want your moves to be based off, as well as a main and sub positions, and even a breach type which can boost other matching players on your team. I went with fire type whilst being a forward, a little on the nose I know, but there's also your personality type. I went with energetic and goofball because your personality type affects the poses and goal celebrations you score, and finally the voice has different types too. It's a great customization feature, but moving on, you can choose your starting team that you recruit players to from different modes, helping you build a team that's truly yours. But you aren't alone, you also have a partner who you can fully customize too, and you can unlock different kits to cosplay as other characters from the series. It has so much content, but let's really move on now and come back to the team building later. There's so many game modes and options available, like Kizuna Station, and I'm starting with the most random, craziest one I didn't expect. Here you can place bond objects and other items to strengthen your bond town, and you can visit other players' towns too. But this is The Sims. It is The Sims. I can't even begin to say how awesome and unexpected this is. It's literally The Sims in Inazuma 11, and I'm so hyped to have this game mode. You can take your team's players and set them in specific spots around your town, or just let them roam around and enjoy themselves. There's also a day and night cycle and a photo mode. You can place a bond shop to buy more items to customize your bond town, which you use tokens that you win through Chronicle Mode that I will talk about later, but you can also visit other players' bond towns too at any point and just see what other people are up to. I'm going to have so much fun on this game mode, and I haven't even begun to talk about the actual football yet. Battlebay Stadium is similar to like a kind of arcade mode, where you can take your team through non-stop battles and fight legendary teams. There's a campaign, single player and multiplayer modes with crossplay available too. You can also play as the awesome teams from the past games in this mode. This is the mode I played to learn the game, being thrown into the deep end with a full team I love rather than slowly building one or ease into the story. And I can say that the gameplay here is awesome. It's the best football gameplay and mechanics we've had from any Inazuma 11 game in the past, and it's filled with awesome animations and techniques, and I mean awesome animations. There's countless different ones, and they are beautifully animated. They are so cool and make me feel like a child again. So let's talk what the football side of the gameplay actually is, and I say football side because this game has a shocking amount of various gameplay depth and different modes that I'll talk about later. I found this a little confusing to understand, maybe because I threw myself in the deep end, but I'm going to explain the mechanics as best and clearly as I can. The teams follow regular football rules with different formations. You can begin games with super tactic cards that give you advantage stats to help in the game. So from kickoff, you roam as whoever has the ball on your team at that time. You can pass to anyone, anywhere, but when an opposing player challenges the ball, you're suddenly restricted. You can try to fake them out by making little steps, you can charge forward and hope that they go the other way, you can pass the ball to another player on your team or challenge them with a special technique. If both players use a special technique, the dominating one will be randomized based on both players' stats. In the event you lose the ball and challenge another player, you must be quick to act before they do, since you can easily let them go. But if you are quick to act, you can make tackles, passes, runs and even shots before a challenge segment even begins. Speed is key from the players in the game, but also you playing the game. When an opposing player takes a shot, your defenders can in slow time run to a marker you place to use a defending special ability, but if not prepared properly, it can break through, leaving it up to the goalkeeper. The keeper can use either a regular save or a special powerful technique, and a bar is displayed to show you which special move is stronger. Normal saves and normal shots can be used too to reserve tension, but you have to pick your moments for when to use those special moves carefully. Shot chains can be extremely useful to create a double powered shot combining two abilities one after another to breach through the defences. Each player also has a stamina bar which dictates how long they can sprint for, and a tension bar which controls what special moves can be used. There is a large amount of RNG and uncertainty in these matches, which only keeps you further on your toes and focused because at any moment the opposing team could score on you. Entire teams can get stat boosts using special tactics that give you a temporary advantage in all abilities. It applies a lot more pressure to the other side. Players can also induce an awakening for themselves, making them stronger too, and can activate team tactics at any time. Set pieces are, as you expect, direct or indirect free kicks. Direct ones you're able to shoot if you want to. I do like how special moves are seen sort of as a valuable scarcity. It's not easy to balance the right moments when or when not to use tension points, and it tests your critical thinking. You can only gain more tension by successfully performing tackles and runs and overall being a good player. You're rewarded with more tension. After all, you can win and score and defend without using any special moves if you understand the mechanics of the game deep enough and well enough. But knowing the best moments to use these special moves is a game changer. Now, probably one of the most appealing and fun game modes is the Chronicle Mode. Here you get to relive the full history of Inazuma 11 with a character named Vic. You can build your own team and take on powerful rivals. It isn't a little game pushed to the side, it's a huge part of this game's appeal. When loading in, you get a cutscene of an Inazuma caravan being booted up on a top secret mission with Vic and Wonderbot. Their world is completely destroyed and they're on a journey to save it, to face an unknown enemy. They take off travelling through space and time and are stopped by the Bureau of Temporal Affairs, or basically the Space and Time Police, and Vic and Wonderbot successfully escape. Their world was destroyed by an unknown powerful enemy in a huge war perishing humanity. They are higher dimensional beings. They are mind eaters. They have the power to erase human existence, essentially resetting life. Vic's granddad is a scientist that discovered this higher plane of existence. There's only one way to save humanity from this threat, to create the ultimate Keshin. The supercharged chronicle begins with the legend of Mark Evans. Through mind fusion, they will experience Mark Evans' history, and afterwards they can summon these legendary spirits into another world. The chronicle competition route holds a path beyond space and time. The path holds chronicle points, which is a red hot moment from the past worth investigating. You can choose a history node and pick a rank to start that battle. Clearing these unlocks more areas. If you win at higher ranks, you win better rewards. It begins with Mark Evans' first match, Raimon vs Royal Academy, but you must also replay history as it once was. So every level there are history objectives to ensure all goes down as it is supposed to. For example, in the very first match, on the side there's objectives displayed, like pass to Kevin, shoot as Kevin, play for victory. It's simple, but it's as it's supposed to be. And at halftime, Raimon are down 10-0. Royal initiate the death zone to lure out somebody of interest, and they barrage Mark with shots not aimed at the goal, but aimed at him. In fear, one player, Willie, runs away and then Axel Blaze walks onto the pitch to play in as a sub. Royal Academy grow tiresome and use the death zone again, but Axel runs far in the opposite direction, leaving Mark alone. When Mark sees this, he knows Axel believes in him, and he knows that he will stop the shot and set him up for one. This is where Mark uses the legendary God Hand for the very first time, and he throws the ball to Axel for him to use his Fire Tornado, which blasts into the back of the net, scoring past Royal, making it 20-1. This one goal was all Royal wanted to see Axel's killer shot in action, and they forfeit the match, making Raimon victorious. That's the premise of Chronicle Mode, to revisit these legendary events of the past and see history unfold for itself, and doing so, recruiting these legendary players' spirits to create your own team, save Vic's world, and it follows over 8 different routes and stories. After each game you're rewarded with spirits you can rank up into stronger spirits and summon them into your team. There are right now 8 different routes through Inazuma 11 history, and some will become available in a future update, so look out for those. Also, let's pay attention to this awesome intro playing right now. It's played after completing the first match in Chronicle Mode, and I am obsessed, like absolutely obsessed. Chronicle Mode has a player universe that uses Bond Stars to unlock spirits. Bond Stars are earned by winning battles in Chronicle Mode and using them on these constellations. There are groups of spirits inside these constellations, and there are different rarities that you can summon onto your team. These spirits are also nicely divided into sections of which past game they featured in, which is a nice touch for nostalgia. I've only ever played 1 and 2 as a child, and I rewatched the first 2 seasons of the anime countless times, but my knowledge beyond that is pretty much scarce, and I would love to explore it further one day. The team building is enhanced massively through the Chronicle Mode. It kind of relies around it. All players can have equipment to boost their stats and can be equipped with different techniques. A lot of different items can be purchased in the Chronicle department store using various tokens that's won in Chronicle Mode. The players on your team can be customized through the team deck, and each player has an Abbey Learn board that allows them to individually progress skill trees, unlocking more special abilities and stat bonuses. These skill trees go very high and are going to take you a long time to max them out, but the reward is a stronger team and stronger players you've invested time and points into, making the final payoff in Chronicle Mode even more rewarding. But the main focus of Inazuma 11 Victory Road is the story mode. Right as you enter the story mode, you're told that you're going to step into the shoes of Destin Bellows and face football head on, aiming to become Japan's best. But they warn for the start of the game you will not play much football, but you'll slowly experience building your own football club from scratch alongside Destin. But as the story progresses, you'll unlock more and more football systems and take full control of the time. I guess this way it also lets you appreciate your own work, building up a team and making you spend time and feel closer to Destin Bellows and his personal story in making a club. I like this style of storytelling, to be honest with you. The full story mode I will make into another video since it will be long, but it does begin with an under 15s tournament final with Raimon and Northbright. It shows a short montage of all players preparing for the match and introduces you to the game with a little bit of hype and excitement. There's a new rookie going by the name of Harper Evans that has a lot of attention to him. It switches to 2 little kids watching the Football Frontier tournament on a bus, and Destin Bellows overhears them. He does not like football and wishes it disappears from his life and disappears from the world. And chapter 1 begins of Destin Bellows at his new school in South Sirius Junior High for his first day. He can find footballs around the school, and when he kicks it reveals an item. Golden footballs drop a rarer item. It's made obvious pretty quickly that this game is far more than a sports game. This is a JRPG. You collect information by roaming around the school, talking to NPCs and investigating around the world. South Sirius is mostly known for its strong baseball team, but it also now no longer has a football team, and not many people care about it here. He hears a rumour about Brian Bloomhurst that tarnishes the reputation of the school, which is the country's top preparatory school, a school that values athletics and academics, a nearly flawless institution. Destin can also take small quests in the form of activities. They're basically side missions that reward you for completing them. It can be helping some people in need, taking photos, or even battling. Destin feels this is the perfect school for him, purely because of the absence of a football club. I won't spoil very much more of the story, but that is the premise of the main story, and I'm excited to play it more and see where it goes as soon as possible. I will cover the entire story in full detail for another video coming soon. Once I make it, then it will be available right here in the corner for you to enjoy. Also consider subscribing to be notified as soon as it drops, but I will mention the non-football mechanics in the story mode, which is what turns this football game more into a story-based RPG. There's huge areas with side missions and character interactions with multiple areas to explore across all of South Sirius Town and more. The story investigates the fated encounter between Destin Bellows and Brian Bloomhurst and their journey and relationship through football. The story is ran through the daily interactions of Destin in through school and through South Cirrus Town. Many of these interactions are portrayed through story battles. These story battles is essentially to outwit and overcome anyone who stands in your way. You can deliver effective blows in a rock paper scissors style timed turn-based mode by closely paying attention to the movements of the opponent, and you can use recovery items to heal and boost stats. The more you attack, the tension gauge will fill up and he can deal a finishing blow. Sometimes enemies can use a sweet attack that can one-shot you, and when the countdown begins you kind of just have to win based on the rock paper scissors command you choose. So far, these battles are essentially extravagant ways to avoid social interactions, and I'm all for it, but if they do get tedious you can pop it into auto battle, and they do change quite a bit throughout the whole extent of the story. Competition mode is essentially a free play game to test your skills and play as teams you've so far encountered, or you can compete online against real players in ranked matches or lobby matches. I'm not very good, so all of my online matches I lost, but I will get better, and with the depth of content this game has, I really hope the online player base stays active and keeps the game alive. It deserves us to keep it alive, which I think it will, because when the game officially releases for everyone, there's going to be online tournaments through the Victory Road game mode where each season you can challenge other players to win. And there is more shops than just the Chronicle department store. The marketplace is home to a lot of different stores. There's also the Versus store, the BB Mart, the Bond shop and Spirit Market. All of them accept tokens that you win through Chronicle Mode. Overall, my first impressions of the game are strong, despite quite frequent crashes, but I suppose they will be fixed soon. If you enjoyed, consider clicking on one of these videos before you never see them again. This game released at 3 PM today, and I was able to quickly upload this video for all of you in the very same day, and I look forward to making my next Inazuma 11 video being the full story explained in detail, so those of you who can't buy the game can still enjoy its story. Inazuma 11, like a lot of you, was a huge part of my childhood, and I'm so happy that we've got an amazing brand new game for us all to enjoy.